confident students walk into exams relaxed. They didn't over-prepare. They trust themselves. Anxious students walk in terrified. They've reread everything 3 times. They've already imagined every way it could go wrong. Guess who remembers more? Charles Darwin spent 20 years preparing to publish one book, not because he was slow, because his brain would not let him stop until every objection was answered, every gap was filled, every argument was airtight. That brain, the one that never rested, never felt ready, never stopped checking, produced one of the most carefully constructed arguments in the history of science. You've been told your whole life to calm down. That is the most counterproductive advice anyone has ever given you. Here is what nobody tells anxious people. Anxiety is not a broken attention system. It is an overclocked one. Your brain is running the same threat detection software as everyone else. Yours is just set to maximum sensitivity. That sensitivity, the one that exhausts you, the one that keeps you up at night, the one that makes you check your work 4 times, is the same sensitivity that catches what everyone else misses. This is not a disorder of attention. It is a different kind of attention, and in the right environment, it is almost impossible to compete with. 3 reasons why. Chapter 1. The hypervigilance edge. Anxious brains scan, constantly, automatically, without being asked. Every detail, every inconsistency, everything that doesn't quite fit. This is called hypervigilance. And in most environments, it's treated like a problem. But here's what hypervigilance actually does. When pointed at something worth learning, it encodes more. A 2005 study by psychologist Jeremy Coplan found that people with moderate anxiety perform significantly better on memory tasks than their relaxed counterparts, not despite their anxiety. Because of it, here's the mechanism. Memory is not a recording device. It's a filtering system. Your brain constantly decides what matters enough to keep. The filter runs on arousal. Low arousal, nothing feels urgent. The filter opens wide and most information passes through without being stored. High arousal, something feels important. The filter tightens. The brain flags the information as survival relevant, and survival relevant information is almost impossible to forget. Anxious people are running high arousal almost all the time. Their filter is always tight. What everyone else skims, the anxious brain encodes. You are not oversensitive. Your brain is running a more expensive filter than most people can access. Chapter 2. The preparation paradox. Here is something confident people will never tell you. Confidence is expensive. It feels productive. It looks like trust in yourself. But confidence without anxiety skips steps. It walks into the room having done enough. It stops preparing when it feels ready. Anxiety never feels ready. And that is not a weakness. That is a system that refuses to stop improving. Darwin had every reason to publish Origin of Species in the 1840s. He had the theory. He had the evidence. He published in 1859. 20 years of an anxious brain, asking, what am I missing? What will they challenge? What breaks if I'm wrong? Those 20 years didn't weaken the argument. They made it unassailable. Psychologist Robert Bjork calls preparation under pressure a desirable difficulty, the kind of effort that doesn't feel productive, but produces the deepest learning possible. Anxious people don't choose desirable difficulty. Their brain imposes it automatically every time you over-prepare. Every time you stay up checking things confident people let go, your brain is encoding at a depth that a relaxed study session cannot reach. The preparation that exhausts you is the preparation that makes you dangerous. Chapter 3. The rumination loop. Rumination is what anxious people do when they can't stop thinking about something, the conversation that went wrong, the exam question they might have answered badly, the thing they said 3 days ago that they're still replaying. It feels like torture. It is also, without knowing it, the most powerful memory tool in existence. Spaced repetition is the scientifically proven method for making information permanent. Review something once, it fades. Review it again before you forget. The memory gets stronger. Review it again, it locks. Anxious people run spaced repetition on everything that matters to them, involuntarily, automatically, for free. The conversation you've replayed 40 times, you remember every word. The exam you were terrified about, you remember every question. The presentation you rehearsed in your head while trying to fall asleep, you delivered it without notes. You called it anxiety. It was your brain doing exactly what memory researchers spend careers trying to get students to do deliberately. The loop is not the problem. The loop, pointed at the right material, is the system. Darwin didn't calm down. He used the anxiety. Every "what am I missing" became a stronger argument. Every sleepless rehearsal became a cleaner delivery. Every moment of checking became a gap filled before anyone asked. Nothing is wrong with your wiring. The environment is wrong. It was built for brains that feel ready too soon and stop too early. Your brain doesn't stop. In the right direction, nothing can keep up with it. But here's the problem. An overclocked brain, without the right fuel, burns itself out before it finishes. Most anxious learners don't fail because they can't learn. They fail because the anxiety consumes the energy before the learning gets to stick. That's why I made this video on exactly how to direct that energy and turn the loop from a liability into the most unfair advantage in any room. Watch it next.